I'm Sean from Shootie School, and you're tuned in to my monthly stream. I stream the first Saturday of every single month, and we focus on Toontrack software and the basics of DAW workflows, producing, and songwriting. So if you find this stream helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, but also enable notifications by clicking the bell so you get to hear about all my free content coming out, plus be notified when my streams go live. If you're not watching live, but you're watching the restream, feel free to skip ahead to about the 5-minute mark. But before you do, give me a moment just to tell you the best and fastest way to upgrade your Toontrack skill set. At my website, shootyschool.com, not only do I have hundreds of free tutorials, but I have paid masterclasses for your Toontrack software. For example, my drums tab course will take you from clicking around on the drums and selecting some presets to developing and executing your custom drum tones in drum kits. My grid editor course might make you wonder why you're still using your DAW's piano roll. All of my courses leave no stone unturned, and they have me as an on-screen instructor to keep the momentum and the confidence and the encouragement going while you learn. I've been a customer of other Toontrack instructors, and they're almost all professional, but just know that when it comes to other people's products, you get 10 to 20 minutes on a subject, which is a great overview, good enough to get you ready to rock and roll. But when it comes to Shootie School courses, I'm spending multiple hours on a subject, so you know what I know, and while I teach, you get to witness my workflows. If you're interested, check out the courses page at shootyschool.com. Why wait to get better at your craft? If you're a beginner at using Toontrack software, sometimes my videos or my streams, they're just a little bit too advanced for all users. I know the feeling. That's why I made a free public beginners playlist. So simply look in the description for the link and check out that playlist if I happen to be covering something too advanced. My channel has hundreds of videos. There's plenty of videos for all different skill sets. And for users that feel like they need real-time community support, check out my Facebook group, Shootie School Speakeasy, or my Shootie School Discord server. The links are down below in the description. It'll be just a few minutes before the stream gets started. Hopefully by now my YouTube notifications have gone out and my main regular community members have clicked on them and they're filtering in and they're saying hi in the chat. And if you want to participate in the live chat, just hit subscribe. That'll let you post in the chat and introduce yourself if you wish, or at least say where you're from. It's great to see where everyone's from around the world here at Shootie School. The reason why I do this stream every single month, it's the awesome, humble community that we've developed here at Shootie School. Speaking of the live chat, my co-host Anthony and I, we put valuable links in the live chat throughout the entire stream, whether it's about what we're talking about or whatever we're recommending. So if you can't see the live chat, look around the video area that you're watching right now and reveal it or unhide it. Or if you're watching YouTube on a smart TV, there is no live chat available, which is why I put this QR code up here on the screen. Just pull out your smartphone, open up the camera app, point it at the QR code, and you can come over to the video on your smartphone and look at the live chat there. And if you've been a lurker for a while, now you can finally come and say hi. So I look forward to everybody saying what's up in the chat today, and let's cover one more thing before we get started. Shootie School's been putting out free content for over 10 years on YouTube, and when it comes to ad revenue, it's kind of laughable for a channel and market of my size. The way I make what little money I make off of Shootie School is selling courses at my website, taking donations at my website, and paid membership on YouTube and Patreon. So if you ever thought I brought your skill set to the next level, please pick up a course, send me a donation, or become a member on YouTube or Patreon. If you check out the $5 a month tier called Next Level Members, I provide monthly exclusive content that's not for the public. And since I've been doing this program for over a couple years now, there's actually a big catalog there that will keep you busy for a while. So consider picking up a course, shoot me a donation, or becoming a member if I've ever brought your skill set to the next level. I look forward to today's stream. Let's rock and roll. What's up, everybody? Sean here from Shootie School. It's the first Saturday of every month where I stream live. And Happy New Year. Happy 2026, everybody. Hope everybody's doing absolutely fantastic. Anthony, Happy New Year, my friend. Happy New Year. Are you here?
Happy New Year, brother.
Wow. November, December are super hustle months for me, so apologies to my members. I didn't put out any member exclusive content in December. I'm going to hop right back on that. But oh my goodness, I almost made 30,000 subs for 2026, man. I'm like 1 month off. I need like another 300 or something like that. But whatever, that's materialistic first world problems. But 30K is coming up soon, so channel's doing all right. Something I've been doing the last month is been making my own bread around the house. And I've got it down to where I'm spending, the bread I make's a little smaller than store bread. So I'm spending about $2.50 a loaf. So maybe spending about $2.75 a loaf for killer, fantastic, beautiful bread. And everyone in the house loves it. So I don't know. I've just been doing that, dude. I'm doing whatever I can to cut corners on survival over here. But no preservatives. The only downside is you probably got to eat it in about 4 or so days. It's not going to last forever. Are you a baker at all, Anthony? You do any of that stuff in the kitchen? Do you have the dexterity for that?
Yeah, so sometimes. I mean, my hands like to misbehave, but it's funny that you mentioned bread. My wife has been on a massive bread baking kick lately. But I myself will do like Italian related breads. So breadsticks and focaccia and stuff. And pizza, because pizza is life.
Yeah. Is that Ashwin in the background, or is that my kid? I can't tell where the mic bleed's coming from.
Oh, that's mine.
Awesome. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. I'm finally a mature man. I'm going to get the stream started. I'm just kind of shaking off how much of a rush I was getting to the stream. I became a mature man, Anthony, just last month. Yeah. I'm a mature.
How's that?
Yeah, exactly. I had my first colonoscopy. Whew.
Welcome to adulthood.
What an experience, man. I tell you, not eating for a day and a half, and then just the mental prep, you got to go through it. But it turns out they knock you out. So it's the actual deed was actually the easiest part. So I think the worst part was taking off 2 days of work. So anyway, I've graduated to manhood. I've hit my second puberty finally. So that's about what's new going on with me today. Oh, let me do a quick intro. Check out shootyschool.com for hundreds of free Toontrack tutorials plus full courses. Check out my Shootie School Speak Easy group over on Facebook. I try to show up there once a day, help out the community, users like yourself. And not only that, I have plenty of great experienced members that help you out. Usually before I even do. Check out my Discord channel. Same situation, just a different format. Anthony and I are actually hanging out here. Where are we? There's Anthony right there. Speaking of Anthony, if you hear someone talking out loud during my stream, that is the Sind Knight. Do like him on Facebook because he shows up here out of the kindness of his heart. See, Anthony is here. Just give his page a like, man. That would be appreciated. Hopefully you spell your name right, Anthony. And I do have some Shootie School t-shirts. I've been selling about one a month. They used to be a hot item during my 5 minutes of fame many years ago. But if you guys want to put in a little extra support, do pick up a shirt because I'm not printing them ever again. Trying to make room in my house for my daughter, so all my stuff's got to go, So shirts here. And what else do I have to plug today? Where's my menu bar? Wrong browser. Here we are. Come on. There we go. I don't know what's going on at Toontrack.com. I don't want to spend any time on this. They released a crap load of products in 2025, and a lot of them are badass. So check it out. Let's see what we got here. Richard Soren. I actually do we recognize Richard's name, or maybe it's been a while since he's been here. Richard, what's up? Or maybe you just changed your screen name because your rank is awesome, and I like that. Thanks so much for the support. David, welcome, my friend. Great to have you, man. John Ludwig, as always, thank you for coming. Gong, what's up from Florida? Nicholas from France, rock on. Bill Hinsberger, all right. Bill from Canada, Happy New Year, buddy. Thank you. I wonder how many times you will save my life this year. Dude, let's hope it's endless and you're happy and it's smooth and it's seamless. You got a place to go to get some questions answered. Welcome. It could be my short-term memory, but I don't recognize your name in the chat. So welcome to the stream if you don't comment. Burns, it has been a while. What's up, brother? I hope you're doing well. Braxel comes to the next level. And look at that rank, Braxel. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate that. John. Really appreciate the 20. And that's a great kickoff. Brings my morale up. I'm going to put that into flour, yeast, olive oil, and sugar. I'm going to keep baking bread, okay? Mark, what's up? That's the shining over there across the pond. Don't apologize to me, brother. Superior's not out yet in case just to pre-screen Braxel's questions. Happy New Year, Shane. What's up, dude? I can only imagine what time it is over there, and it's great to have your company. Feel free to try and make me laugh if possible. Shane's a wise ass sometimes, loving to death. Keyboardist from, man, you're north of Australia. Where the heck are you again? It's been a while since we caught up, man, so you got to remind me these things.
Swear jar, right on.
Oh, which one was it? What did I swear? Was it?
Well, I mean, you've used the A twice, but that one's part of the thumbnail, so I let that one slide into the F one.
Oh,
I just slipped up.
Oh, crap. It's funny, too, today. I was just thinking today about how I have pretty good control over my swears. You know, I kind of swear on purpose lately for fun, but yeah, I guess not. Ken, welcome, man. Welcome. I don't know if I recognize Ken's name. Web Hiker. Yo, Shootie, what's up? Dude, what's up, man? Web Hiker, I don't recognize. Am I off with not remembering these names, Anthony, or are they just coming into chat?
Some of them are just new to chat.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks for coming, Web, and thank you for being a member. Peaches, what's up? Peaches ranks awesome as well. All right. I'm new as last month. Awesome. Thank you very much. Oh, that's the month 2 rank. Gotcha. Braxel. Braxel. 7 a.m. Gotcha. Beautiful mountain view, I assume, Shane. All right. Metal month was great. I'm still digging all this stuff. Oh, yeah. I don't even feel like covering it. I had a great November with Toontrack, do a metal month, as I do every year. So I should have been on a different screen, but I'm not. Whatever. Dude, we're going to trailblaze today. So EZbass, is it valid in 2026? So being me, having this channel for over a decade, like I screen all the, not just the whiners and the complainers, but the constructive criticism as well. It gets old. I don't argue with people anymore. I've given up on that. Shootie School's actually made me pretty strong, make me realize like what matters in life, you know. Should be on this screen. Yeah, this screen. Shootie School's really thickened my skin, man. People drive by commenting just to tell me how much I suck, blah, 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 blah. But then they also do that to EZbass. And sometimes I agree and sometimes not. But the problem is the majority of those commenters are just responding emotionally. They're not telling me why they're upset about the program. And I actually have quite a few digs on EZbass, mostly bugs and some are features, but not enough to put it down. It's my #1 bass VST. But I do want to go through that. And I also want to pose the question, which I hope you guys will comment below when you watch the restream or put it in the live chat so everyone can see. But what is your go-to bass VST? Or what do you also use next to EZbass? Because EZbass cannot do the entire job. And I only have one idea off the top of my head. There's a lot of bass plugins that give you sounds. So that's really like subjective and has to do with your opinion. I like that sound over that sound. But when it comes to EZbass, the features, the songwriting features, like I just don't think they can be beat. One drive-by commenter that let out a paragraph told me how much EZbass sucked. Didn't tell me why, but they told me how they were going back to Logic's bass session player, and at least he gave me some information to follow. And I checked out Logic's bass session player, and I was impressed. Now, you have to use Apple's Logic, so it's hard for that to replace EZbass for the majority of users. But I went down a rabbit hole to check out Logic's bass session player. and it's basically Toontrack's edit playstyle feature on complete steroids. It's like really just turn some knobs, click some buttons, bass lines fly out of the blue. At the same time, it doesn't have all the other great features that EZbass has. So I wonder, especially from an email I got yesterday, just someone reading the thumbnail of this stream, they decide to send me a friendly message. You know, a lot of people get turned off by EZbass, and I just wonder if it's not as clickable as EZdrummer. Just click, click, drag, drag. You have to know some theory, maybe. It's just not intuitive. A lot of people say they're just turned off. But I learned these programs soup to nuts, and they just seem like trailblazers to me. So let's get into it. But more importantly, what bass software are you using besides EZbass? Put it below. Better than that, if you have a problem with EZbass, just put why. I have no interest in arguing or be right. I just want to know. Plus, EZbass 2, according to Rick from Toontrack, it is coming out. He said that last year. And as long as the world doesn't end, just checking my watch for the Armageddon, as long as the world doesn't end immediately, we'll probably see it. So put what you think should be in EZbass 2 as well, and I'm going to comment about that too. So let's get started. Sorry to be so windy, but I mean, people should complain to Toontrack, not to me. It's not my software. All right. So soup to nuts, guys. You know, when you open up EZbass, this is, by the way, this will be a great video for beginners. For advanced users alike, I'm going to cover a lot of the beginner stuff, like the duh stuff, but talk about it. But we might get into some stuff you haven't even thought about yet. So stick around, and thank you so much for taking time out of your Saturday. Especially those of you that take your time out every Saturday. Gosh, it means so much to me. Really appreciate it. I think I'm on the right screen. Just going to check real quick. Yep, looks good, looks good. We'll be in standalone until the end, just so it's easier to see and it's in your face. But, you know, when you open up EZbass, you know, you can choose a library, which basically means an EZbass product that you bought. And then after you choose that, you select a preset, which changes your sound. So here's not even a gripe, but a conversation that's been happening a lot. Do I need more than one EZbass product library? And my answer is yes, except it's subjective. And a lot of people are saying, well, I just take my MIDI out to my other synthesizers or bass softwares and trigger those sounds that I like better than EZbass. So great, that works for them. But my answer is, do you need to buy more than one EZbass product? Well, of course, that's always a no. Save your money or make sure it's what you want before you buy it. But I would say yes if you're the type of person that has more than one guitar, more than one bass, more than one keyboard. Why do you have more than one? Unless you have a problem, seek counseling. You have more than one because it sounds different, right? So that's the easy answer. But at the same time, especially from a rock metal guy, I could get away with this one thing all day long. So that's just a debate that always happens. A lot of people are arguing or debating that more than EZbass is pointless. I don't think so. Especially if you go this crazy. Like there's an acoustic bass. There's a fretless bass. This thing's nuts. I don't even know what to do with it. All right. Gospel, hard rock. I mean, these all have different tones, but I'm looking for like obvious reasons. There's a hollow body, right? I mean, super different tones. The metal EBX is nuts if you're into metal, and it also has the lowest tuning possible. And there's one other, dude, we have an upright. So yeah, there's reasons to get others. Do you need to? No. Are you enthusiast? If so, probably yes. I'm going to glance at my notes a little bit. Luckily, I took some this time. Oh, remember I was talking about Logic Session Player? I put 2 links down below real quick. I did take notes, and I'm not checking them out, but I put 2 links below in the description if you use Logic and you're curious, because it is like edit play style on steroids. It's very cool. I don't think it replaces EZbass. I put this guy's link below. This is George Cooling. And he does a bunch of Logic videos. That's the good, like, ground up tutorial on Bass Session Player. And then I put this dude's link as well, which he's a nerdy dude who really gets in the dirt. So anyway, something I forgot to mention. All right. Should I buy more than one EBX or more than one guitar? Yeah. So here's one thing I did say while I was answering the question, should you buy more than one EBX, which is a Toontrack expansion pack for EZbass? If you have other cool bass sounds that aren't Toontrack, you can use, trying to control two computers here, you can use a MIDI output right here, Midi Out right here. Multi-out. Where's Midi Out? I wonder if it just works by default. Oh, right here. You can use the Midi Out from EZbass, and you can feed the MIDI that you create in EZbass to another software instrument. Let's just say I have native instruments and the Rickenbacker. It's just I like the Rickenbacker sound. Well, I can do everything in EZbass and just shoot the MIDI out the poop hole and control that Rickenbacker. So that's a solution if you've already invested in bass sounds. You don't want more EBXs, right? The reason why I can't select Midi Out right now is because I'm not in a DAW, which we will be later. So I just wanted to bring up the Midi Out thing. Let's move over real quick to libraries and presets. Here's a limitation. Like I said, I'm going to boast a lot about EZbass, but I'm also going to talk about the downfalls because this is it suitable for 2026. When you select, let's open this effects tab real quick. So when you expand that, you have different effects, and all those effects change depending on what preset you choose. So if I go to, let's just say affected, now we have a bunch of effects. If I go down to Funk King, now we have fewer effects and so on and so forth. So you don't have access to all of EZbass's effects at all times. And that's just something someone should know up front. It's not a gripe for me because that is the way all of Toontrack's EZ-Line products are, but it's something to note, okay? So you can't have all the settings at all times. It's not like your guitar or bass preamplifier plugin you're used to doing. What do I like to use Neural DSP. You know, you get the whole amp, you get the preamp, you get all the effect, like everything, right? This, you get what the creator of this preset allows you to use, okay? I don't know. I don't think I'm just used to the Toontrack EZ-Line, so that's not a big deal to me. It's something someone should know up front, and I think people will probably watch this video if it's 2026 and they're wondering if they should still buy EZbass yet or not. Is it too old yet or not? So, all right, so effects. So tuning, you can transpose EZbass, and right now it's a 5-string, so that's the low B string. You can bring it down to a low A. But here's a note for you guys, so you don't buy things blindly. Go to the individual product pages of the product, of the EZbass product you want to buy. It will tell you its lowest possible note. For example, they do have a Rickenbacker EBX, EZbass expansion pack, but it's just a 4-string, and I don't think it's going to drop down to B for you. So that's good to know. And like I said earlier, if you buy the metal EBX, that sucker's like drop C. So that's actually, no, it's even lower. It's like drop A or A sharp or something. I don't know. You know what? I know. Let me just, since I went so far guessing, let me not do that. My bad. Let's go over to the metal real quick. This is the EBX that tunes the lowest. It's not heavy metal, it is metal. And it'll say right here on the right, its tuning capability. It goes down to D sharp 0. Yeah, pretty low. So here's where you tune, and you can also like get out of tune if you're trying to match a recording. And what's also interesting, which is something don't really play with, is you can make it tuned perfectly like a synthesizer, or tuned slightly not perfectly as a natural bass would tune, or have it tuned the same way a piano was tuned. I don't have a mic mute, and I've been sick, so you're gonna have to deal with me clearing my throat today. Apologies about that. It's just, I gotta keep the show rolling. And in my audio workflow lately, I don't have a button to mute the channel I'm going through right now. So sorry about that. So there is tunings, and boy, they really give you some a bit of features. You can go up octaves, semitones, and cents in case you're playing with some old Van Halen or some old Pantera and they tune down, you know, a quarter step or 10 cents or something like that. So the ability's there. Let me move on here. Effects, certain EBXs recorded different tunings. Yeah, good. Let's keep moving. We're gonna slay soon, but I just want to kind of cover it from left to right, from soup to nuts. So coming up on some cool stuff. Grooves tab. This is where I really absolutely love Toontrack products. I did discuss some limitations, but yeah, a bit of its boasting. But here's one thing that a lot of the bass VSTs don't have, which is an insane storage and tracking system of all your MIDI, let alone do they even come with their own MIDI or not. So questions to ask when you're using other stuff. And over here, EZbass, I don't know how many files it comes with. I didn't come that prepared. Let's just say it's 1,000. It's probably something like that. I'm not sure. EZdrummer 3 comes with 3,000. So I'm just guessing EZbass comes with a little less, an assumption, right? And on the left is all the products you buy and the MIDI that's contained with them. At the top is how you sort through those products. I want to play a blues. I want to play, I don't know, softly, straight feel and 4/4, and now all my criteria is sorted. I can really stay focused sorting stuff. That's nuts. I don't want to spend more time on that. I want to get into more complicated stuff, but that's just what I just did in that moment. What other program can handle that? There's Tap Define, which is cool because we kind of have a step sequencer. So if you're as old as I am or even older, you've probably run into, whether it was a piece of hardware or whether you got into computers, in the mid 90s or whatever, and you were dealing with step sequencers, you can kind of color in the rhythms you want. That's fantastic. This is just a rhythmic one. You can actually switch it over to melody, and you could kind of do karaoke with it. I don't know the notes of Another One Bites the Dust Off Me. I'm just gonna try. You can see, sorry, you can see how easy it is just to get quick ideas about tapping on a fretboard. But better than that, it's going to take that idea and search your grooves and say, hey, let me try and find something that sounds like that. Apparently, what I just dragged across the fretboard only brings back a 50% match. Not even close. But it's there. But better than that, if you create stuff in Tap Define, it's not only for search criteria. If you handcrafted something in there, you can just drag it to your song track and use it. So there's that MIDI file I just created. Let's hear how bad it is. Yeah. It's very cool. Now, what's great about Toontrack is they do not hoard their MIDI. They allow you to bring third-party MIDI right into the program and integrate it. That's awesome. So now, actually, no, this is typical standard MIDI stuff. An A is an A, a B is a B, blah, blah, blah. So I was thinking EZdrummer for a minute. Sometimes the mapping's off. Here, the mapping's not off. Maybe some articulations, which we'll get into in a few minutes, but the mapping is not off. So if I went to a place like groovemonkey.com and bought their bass packs, their bass MIDI, I could just go onto the Grooves tab in EZbass so I can integrate it seamlessly, go to the options menu, where is it? An add linked folder, and just add all the bass MIDI I bought throughout the universe of the web, and EZbass will bring it down here. They'll put it at the bottom of the list. Oh, I actually still have Groove Monkey in here, so they'll put it at the bottom of the list, but you can integrate all third-party MIDI. So I like how Toontrack's not as gatekeeping as other brands. That's pretty cool. And here's just some, well, we're here. Cute. Very cool. Very cool. What else did oh, here's one thing that, all right, I'm gonna bash EZbass when I can, but I'm also on my favorite page where I'm most productive, so I'm excited. The Show Webshop Midi button. A lot of you guys already know what a lot of this stuff is because you're Shootie School subscribers and members, and thank you for being members. But the Show Webshop Midi button, speaking of not gatekeeping, Toontrack doesn't do this with their sounds, but with their MIDI, they let you listen and use all of their MIDI before you buy it. It's absolutely amazing. I don't feel like clicking on it and waiting 2 minutes, but if you click on the Webshop MIDI button, more folders populate over here. And that's all the products you haven't purchased yet. You can't use them in your songs, but you can play them and check them out. So you can check out every single MIDI file you haven't bought yet before you buy it. I don't know. Let me know who does that, right? It's good on Toontrack with that one. So, oh, here's a gripe. Just adjusting my notes here that are below my nose. Here's a gripe I have. I'm going to get a little more into this gripe afterwards. This is like a little minor gripe. So when you start going through your Toontrack MIDI, this folder is all the MIDI that came with EZbass. It's broke out into genres of music. Now I'll just go into this pop rock one. Here's a straight 4/4, and here's a bunch of songs. So there's a lot of stuff here, right? Look at all these songs. Here's a gripe I have, because EZbass only understands major and minor. It doesn't understand modes or extended chords. It's a big problem. We'll get into it in a minute. It's not a big problem. It's a problem. We'll get into it in a minute. But I want people who know less music theory than I know, and I don't know a whole lot. I've taken basic music theory, got it pretty good. I've taken advanced music theory, and it's kind of gone out of the window over the decades. But people who know music theory, or maybe just a little bit, it's hard to just fly with EZbass. So I'm going to completely agree that it's not intuitive. So if I go to this rock ballads, it gives me the tempo. And I'll just click on the verses. Here's the verses. But in no way do I know what key that was played in. And now I have to use my ears to know whether it was major or minor. Because, all right, right now my project key signature is in C major. So if I hit play on this, technically I should hear this back in C major, but it could also be the relative A minor. And people with bad ears, they don't even understand that. They don't even know what's going on. It bothers me a lot that it doesn't just say whether this is minor or major. If it at least said this was minor or major up here, I don't know. You have to listen to it. So this is either in C major or A minor. We don't know, because C major is the relative scale of A minor. And you kind of have to understand a little music theory to understand my gripe. So that's another reason why it should be there. People shouldn't even be having these thoughts. Is this major? Is this minor? Let me use my ears if my ears are educated, or let me see where the third is. Let me see where the seventh is. Like, that's kind of BS. That I don't like. I survived this, no problem, but that I don't like. And I can see why a lot of people get driven away. I think it should say next to 74 BPM, exactly what it is. Is it A minor? Is it, C sharp major? Whatever. It should just say it. None of this. It could be this, or it could be that. That's why it says relative down here, by the way. So if you're in A minor, or if you're in C major, the song track doesn't know the difference. That bothers me. I think there should be a difference. Anyway, that one goes on my you got to fix it in EZbass 2 list. I'll kind of have I'll post a list below in the description when I'm done with this video. There's a couple bugs I want worked out. Look, Toontrack's not going to give EZbass a big upgrade until EZbass 2 comes out. And there's a lot of things that people are desiring, but that's just the history of how Toontrack has worked. People are griping all day long about things that were wrong with EZdrummer 2. And they were really important gripes. They didn't get solved till EZdrummer 3. It's like, why? I can see it from Toontrack's perspective. Why give them something so they don't upgrade now, so they don't upgrade later, so. But anyway, besides that gripe, which I think is important, yeah, it should just tell you the key of the song, and it should tell you whether it's minor or major, so uneducated ears or theoryless users can really get by, There's plenty of other awesome tools. EZbass 2 should at least have the features that Midi Key 2 has, I think, so. I wish I wasn't sick, and I'm talking a lot, and my throat's getting super dry. Let's move over to the song track though. Besides my last gripe about knowing what keys these songs are in, so people don't have to do little formulas in their head. Actually, no, let's go back up here real quick. What's cool about EZbass is just what's left up here is this bass line I was just playing. It was recorded by a human playing bass, and that human played that in a particular key at a particular tempo. So if you want to know exactly what that session player did and not hear this played back at C major at 120 or A minor, these files are playing back at your project settings. If you want to know exactly what that musician did, select original tempo and select song key, the original song key. Now let's see if it sounds different. Turns out this is in C or A minor, but the tempo was different. So if you want to know exactly what those studio musicians were doing, click on original tempo and original song. If you're looking for inspiration, and that file you're playing might sound completely different. That one did sound quite different at that tempo, actually. And you can make things an octave higher. Oh, and you can make this bass player play harder or softer with the velocity. And if you make any of these adjustments before you drag it to the song track, those adjustments will be written into that file. So that's actually, that's fantastic. Like, there's like a super broad stroke editing adjustments you can have before you even use the MIDI file. Like, you're just previewing it and you're like, oh, do this instead, do this instead. Like, oh, that's close, now I'll use you. That's cool, and that's what this top bar does. And you can also play twice as fast, twice as slow, or do some interesting formulas that probably have to do with triplets, okay? Now let's go down to the song track. Let's just drag a few things down there real quick. So this timeline is called a song track. Song track's the Toontrackian language for a timeline. What's cool about this stuff is you'll see color codes. I love this stuff. You guys hear me brag about it all the time. So when you have a really busy song that's a mile long, even especially progressive song structures, you can really see at a glance where you are in the song. You know, this tealish thing is verse, yellow pre-chorus, and so on and so forth. That's fantastic. Makes perfect sense. And it also has continuity with all the other Toontrack products, EZdrummer, Superior, and Easy Keys. So really easy to go. I'm in the verse. Okay, all the verses are here. You know what I'm saying? So navigation's pretty awesome. And for someone who is not a Toontrack user, it's easy just to kind of think like a word processing document. Like, I'm going to right click on this and copy it, and I'm going to put my cursor over here and right click and I'm going to paste it. So you can do some intuitive editing and not have to know everything about it. You know, I'll just mouse over the sides and scrub things around. And there's plenty of key commands, you know, where you can just start duplicating, do crazy stuff. So things you come to my videos for. So it's intuitive to get around. You know, one downfall, which I don't think Toontrack can get around this. I don't know what plugin can get around this. Remember, Toontrack's not a DAW, it's a plugin. EZbass, not a DAW, it's a plugin. When you make edits in your DAW, you know, the song track in EZbass is not going to respond to those edits. You have to do them in both places at the same time. And that note is specifically about arranging. So, you know, I got a video called The Grid Editor versus Your DAW's Piano Roll, which is a really good watch if you happen to follow that last thing I said. Anthony, can you just type in DAW, D-A-W, verse on my channel and just put the resulting video in the chat, please? I'd appreciate it. Check out that video, super important video. So the song track's pretty intuitive. It does a ton of more things. It does. You can change the song part colors. You can locate MIDI in here that you've recently lost track of. Just a bunch of good little utilities. Let's see, modes. Here's the problem. So anyway, you go down to song key, and here's where you change the key of the project you're working on. Right now we're in C major, which also might possibly be A minor, which is a conversation we had before. And there's ability to actually do some key changing. It's advanced. That's for another day, but the ability's there. But there's no way to work with modes. I can't say, EZbass, today I'm composing an E Phrygian. You could work out the relative scales of E Phrygian and go with that, but it's going to be a mess. All the tools aren't going to work perfectly, okay? So I'm hoping that EZbass 2, you can literally go here and say, today I'm working in this mode, and then all the tools will support that mode. EZkeys 2 came close to that. They didn't do exactly that, but they came close to it. It supports modes in the tools. It just doesn't support them here in the key signature. So that's a gripe, along with extended chords. We're talking about the biggest problems now, by the way. So for those of you that are interested in buying EZbass, or for those that already own it and you're looking to figure out your workarounds or figure out what you need to accept to move on. So we can't do modes. So if you can't do modes, EZbass also doesn't do extended chords. So as you can see in the song key, you can choose a major scale or a minor scale. So what chords are in major scales and minor scales? Major chords and minor chords. It can't do like 7th chords, 6th chords, 9th chords, like any type of extended chord. You have to know the theory of the extended chord you want to use, and then you have to manually manipulate how EZbass plays to hit those notes that are outside of major and minor arpeggios. Sorry, my terminology, I'm going pretty fast. This is all off the top of my head, by the way. So now bass is sometimes just playing the root note, just playing some simple stuff. So major and minor actually isn't a problem for the majority of music in existence. But I mean, you do anything progressive, anything jazzy, anything metal. Dude, you do blues and you have dominant stuff all over the place. So you can see how fast particular users are just going to, boom, run right into the wall. Now, they're not going to run into the wall if they know some music theory, because they're just going to go, take whatever chord and correct it in the grid editor, like, oh, I want a 7th in this chord. So they'll just grab it and they'll drag it up to wherever the 7th is. But man, if you don't know theory, you're screwed. If you don't have killer ears, you're screwed. So, that's a big deal. So modes would be cool to see here. If they at least do what they did with modes in EZkeys 2, acceptable. Some great tools in EZkeys 2 with modes. It at least tells you, whether you know theory or not, where you can put notes in what mode. Can't do that here. And extended chords, I mean, it's just a given at this point. Tons of gripes out there. I'm not sure if there's a bigger complaint. And yeah, and it's a complaint for me too, but I'll tell you, EZbass is so amazing. And if you know a bit of theory or you have some good ears, you work right around that stuff, but you're throwing a minute here and a minute there and a minute there. And before you know it, you're doing 30 minutes of workarounds in a 2-hour session. So you see what I'm saying? But, something like that Logic Bass Session Pro, whatever it's called. Great program, by the way. That thing's intelligent because since it's built into the DAW, it can see your DAW's chord charts. So it's just going to follow whatever chords you have in Logic. It'll say, hey, here's a D7. And then all of a sudden the bass is rocking out a D7 with those particular notes. In EZbass, you need to know what those notes are. You got to put them in yourself. Case closed. Big bummer. Huge request. Toontrack will obviously address this in EZbass 2. And if they don't, it'll be hard to defend them, so... hopefully Toontrack watches this stream if they even have the patience to do 90 minutes. But EZbass is amazing. There's some big gripes right there. But like I said, comment below what bass software are you using that smokes this, that alleviates all these problems. I don't know. That Logic program does do all right with extended chords. So good on them. Let's see. Sorry, boys and girls. So one limitation here in EZbass, again, getting back to Toontrack doesn't want to update major do major updates to software, they'd rather save those features for the next version so they can sell the next version. Here's one. Here's one.
$20.
Oh, Gene. See, let me get my screensaver up.
Shane, I said.
Shane. Oh, is it the Shane? So I'm a little, hold on a sec. I had the screensaver go off. Oh, it is the Shane. Thank you, brother. I hope you're doing well, man. I hope you're still playing keys. I hope you still like, do you even experience winter over there? Or is it just vacation 365, man? I hope we catch up sometime soon, man. Really miss your company. Has he saying anything sarcastic? Is he busting my butt at all in this stream? Or is he actually just watching like a good boy today, Anthony?
Oh, you know better than that.
Yeah.
There's some sarcasm flying.
All right, good. Thank you so much, Shane. I appreciate it. Getting back to Toontrack doesn't do major updates on the current software because they save those for the next version of the software, so they have new features to sell. Here's one: is you can't import an Easy Keys 2 project into EZbass 1. There's workarounds around it, but if you go to the track menu, where is it? Import chords and song parts from Easy Keys project. That's talking about Easy Keys 1, not Easy Keys 2. I'm pretty sure I'm going to show you a couple workarounds because we're going to work on drums and keys in a minute. We're going to work on everything, hopefully. Let me see what time it is. Yeah. Stream's half over. I'll probably stay late if I don't finish it because I want this one to feel complete before I'm gone. Can't import Easy Keys 2 projects, so you got to wait for EZbass 2 to be able to do that. That's my prediction. It's an extremely easy prediction. Okay. All right. What else did I have? I have some note. The majority of this is freestyle, but I have a couple notes that I want to make sure I don't want to miss. One covering. Oh yeah. All right. Let's look at these tools down here. So we're still in the song track area. And all right, you have basic editing tools, arrow to move stuff, pencil, which I don't really use much, but you can just start drawing out parts, chord charts in Midi blocks. Okay. Add standard groove. Oh, here's something that's super important. This just added a standard groove over here for another video, but my YouTube members and my Patreon members, they have access to my ongoing EZbass tutorial series. I think right now I have, is this the right browser? No, it's this one right here. Yeah. I mean, right now, 1, 2, 3, I'm 4 videos deep on this brand new EZbass tutorial series. So if you're still excited about EZbass and you want to watch me, pop the hood and teach you everything about it, check it out. I actually have like 7 or 9 videos here, but I have a new tutorial series I just started 2 months ago, and it's ongoing. So I'm going to do another video in a couple days for it. But that's for my YouTube members. Anthony can plug my members and Patreon, or just check the description below if you're curious for exclusive training on EZbass. Where am I? All right. So many. I need to take some tasks from my main computer and put it on my second computer while I'm doing the stream. It's getting scary. Hopefully it's still stable. The stream is still stable. So anyway, there's the tools. There's the add standard groove. This thing's amazing. This little add edit chords. So if you zoom into a block down here. All right, this is a groove, this whole thing. At the top, it's the title of the groove of the song section. Here's like a chord chart. It should be called something else, but it's literally just a chord chart like you would read. You're not seeing tab or music notation. You're just seeing the chords. So you got a chord chart here, and then you have the MIDI below. So there's 3 sections to a groove when it comes to EZbass or Easy Keys. And what's great is if you change just the chords, but not the MIDI, it will rewrite the MIDI. That's pretty amazing. That's absolutely awesome. It's exactly what that is. And to change those chords is even awesomer. So double click or right click, I forget. No, double click. Nope. Oh, I'm on the wrong tool. I'm on the pencil tool. Let me hit undo a couple times. Arrow tool. Here, double click. Here's the chord chart, resembles a circle of fifths. And I'm just going to tell, here's a super tip for people who are not up to speed on theory. This will get you very far in in EZbass. If you look close enough, you'll see that these top 6 chords, they're a slightly darker color brown. They're not transparent at all, but the rest of this is lighter brown or slightly transparent, okay? I got to go blow my nose soon, unfortunately. So these top 6 chords are all safe chords for the song key you have selected. So if someone doesn't know music theory, but they know that, they know they can just hammer on any of those 6 top chords in any way, and it should sound pretty safe to the average music listener. And two more tips to throw on top of that is the first chord in your song section, you should probably make it the same chord as the song key you're in, but that is not a rule. People definitely break that rule, but if you're just getting started and you don't know theory, do that. And here's the second tip. If anyone happens to be leaning in right now, these 6 chords are the safe chords to choose with this selected song key plus one more, and it's the one next to the bottom right here. Okay? That's it. And this should be like a diminished chord or something like that, but it's for another day. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those are the safe chords you can choose. That's especially helpful when you're in easy keys too, but that rule just works great here. Okay? All right, and then I can just go to the next chord, blah, 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 blah. So I don't know. I just don't see software present the same way EZbass does. And as I said in a lot of my promotions, I don't know if I'm too close to Toontrack software. I've been working with it too long. Am I too close to it to dislike it? I have some problems with it, but I'm still with it and I'm still loving it. Where is its competition? Please comment below, comment in the chat. Let me see what else is out there. You know, the Logic bass session thing is a super cool tool, but it's the only real thing I looked at and went, oh, damn, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right, that was the chord chart. I kind of discussed MIDI blocks. Of course, you can get around the song track like this. And if it's not obvious, change the time signature, change the tempo, change the song key, and you can do multiple time signatures and tempos. If you, not going to get into the weeds on this, but if you go to the track menu, where you have edit time signature, edit tempo, and you'll be presented with the tools to do so. I never use them in EZbass's song track because I do those things in my DAW, and when you load EZbass into your DAW is the boss, EZbass follows. So I do my time signature and tempo editing in my DAW, but you don't have to. EZbass is capable. So just throwing it out there. You got a metronome. Oh yeah, dude, as a practice tool, settings, metronome. You can tell this thing to play any note duration and with any sound, right? Or not any sound, but many sounds. So great practice tool right there. All right, am I done with song track? I hope so. Yeah, so almost. Actually, not almost. We have transitions, replace MIDI and edit play style. Check out transitions. Let's just say, let me just put one groove up here, right here. I can do a bunch of tips too, in case, you know, just so the veterans that are watching, let me clean up my song track so it doesn't look like you know, it's my first time using this software, right? All right. Let's say I like this groove. I don't even know what it sounds like. Let me hit play on it. Not all that exciting. Let's say it works for the project we're working on though, okay? Notice that where each chord ends in the chord track, again, I got to look at the manual. I don't think this is called the chord track, but chord chart. Oh, it's probably called chord track. I'm calling it a chord chart. See where all the chords end? Chords end, where those breaks are? That's where transition comes into play. So let me select the MIDI down here, and look, the transition button pops on, okay? Transitions, I kind of have different definitions, but their definition makes sense here. It's what you do. To me, a transition happens at the end of a section. That's where I talk about transitions. But in tune tracking language for EZbass, transitions happen at the end of each chord. Okay, so we're actually seeing 8 different transitions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This little transition menu, which is, I got a full video on it that members, Patreon members series I'm doing. I've already done a full video just on transitions. Very fun. You can take it further than what I'm talking about now. But you can get the bassist, EZbass, to kind of freestyle at the end of each chord. So just actually double click on it. Here's the MIDI up here. Watch these MIDI dots fly around. We're literally automating the MIDI right now, and it's just a couple predetermined recipes, but I'll tell you what, if you just need some movement in your bass line, actually, it actually makes perfect sense. Remember when I hit play on this MIDI file, I'm like, that's not exciting. Let's pretend we like it. Well, we might like it now. Transitions are cool, so those exist. Replace MIDI is pretty awesome, and I didn't do the audition trick yet. I don't want to get too far, but go too far in the deep end. I'm trying to stick with the purpose of this video, but the audition trick is where I'm in my DAW and I have everything laid out. I have guitar, drums, vocals, kazoo, bagpipes, and I want to hear things out of here when I'm searching for bass lines. I want to hear this part sync up with my DAW. And Anthony, I don't know if you can find it, but could you please just go to my channel, use my channel search for audition trick, put that in the chat for me. If you don't know the audition trick, you just go there now. You're not even using Toontrack software yet unless you're doing the audition trick. But check this out. Let's say, I'm going to loop this just so we don't have any playback issues. Let's say this is the bass line I want, that I like, that's going to work for my project. I'm on the right screen. Am I on the right screen? Yeah. But I just want to make sure there's not a better one, right? Here's how you can like go deep into the weeds without losing what you already had. You can test out a lot of stuff. Speed dating, in a sense. I really have a video called Speed Dating, relevant to this conversation. So search for that too if you want. But I have the MIDI selected, and look, the replace MIDI button highlights. Let me hit it. We're not hearing that bass line anymore. Now we're hearing this highlighted one out of our grooves tab. All right, grooves. The tabs go when you enable this feature, but we're actually on the grooves tab in EZbass. We're not hearing our original bass line anymore. Now we're hearing whatever this is. Up. I take that back. Hit play. Where's the playhead, man? Is this changing? Let me play. All right, they are changing. I'm not crazy. I was just hearing similar bass lines. I was wondering what was going on. This stuff is so boring hearing it on its own right now. I don't know how to make it exciting, but if our whole song was up and running, this is a great way to not lose track of your original file, but to see if better files are out there. And if I thought this file was better, I'll hit save changes and it will rewrite the MIDI. Or if I decide I can't find a better file, I'll just hit cancel and I'll get my original back. That's how that one works. I don't use it, so I guess me demonstrating that part wasn't all that passionate, but I don't use it. I just use the audition trick and overwrite my stuff. But replace MIDI is pretty awesome because I think the thinking behind replacing MIDI from up here to down here makes more sense as someone who's just getting into Toontrack than the way I do it is also. I've got a distracting screen over here on the left. So that's replace MIDI, and there's one more thing, and here's edit play style. Now, if I select MIDI, I can hit edit play style. And this is what, I'll just only mention the Logic thing one more time. I'm just kind of excited about it, and I'm not a Logic user. A couple of my students use Logic, so I open it up now and then. I'm not a full-time user. But it makes me want to use Logic a little bit because it has some cool toys. Not as cool, in my opinion. Don't want to upset anyone, and plus there's some ignorance. I don't know how to use that software perfectly. But it just, EZbass has some different tool sets that smoke what anything else does, I think. So that's why I want you to comment below. Tell me what does better than EZbass, please, so I can learn myself. But edit play style, that Logic Session Pro free software that comes with Logic, it's this, but times 100. It's just some simple knobs, and some simple drop-down menus for instant, like slap you in the face changes. Fast, man. It's pretty cool. Like lots of broad stroke moves, but really good. So anyway, here's edit play style, which is not that, but is still pretty awesome. And I don't want to explain the grid editor just yet, but we kind of need it visually to understand what edit play style does. So I'm going to select the MIDI down here. I've launched edit play style, and these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things down here. I have a video on just this, by the way. We are like moving fast, and I'm spending a few seconds on each thing where I spend moments or 20 minutes at a time on it in that course series, that Patreon course series I was talking about. Links are below. But here we can just, when we open up edit play style, this is good for people who don't like to grid edit. This will help you manipulate things in an automated fashion, which is, where a lot of people want things to happen, It only does so much, but it has some great tricks. So great. We can make things an octave higher, octave lower, whatever. That's great. It's better than selecting all and dragging up and down, right? More importantly, if I open up my velocity is how hard that bass player is picking or hitting with his fingers, right? So we hear different volumes if he hits harder or quieter, but more importantly, you hear different tones. When an object gets struck, it makes different tones depending on how hard it's struck. So that's velocity. And we can automate it easily. Select it. Let's bring it down. You can see all those little lollipops moving up and down. That's a great automated feature. Amount, this is pretty cool. Now, it's a certain algorithm, so it's going to mess up as much as it does good, but it's worth just twisting this knob and finding out, okay? You can watch how many notes we have. I'll zoom in a little bit. Watch how many notes we have. I'll move mount up. It's just creating little syncopated rhythms. And I'll draw it the other way, and now it's taking away notes, okay? I'll hit undo. Damping is great. I don't use this, but it's the genre of music that I normally work in I don't use this, but yeah, dampen the bass strings, no different than using a muffled drum, right? So you can add dampening or taking away, and length is pretty cool. Let me take the amount down. See all the holes we just made? Now watch what happens when I hit length. Fill in those gaps, right? So that's an automated tool where you don't need to know theory and you don't need to spend all your time on a grid editor to get results. That's just a little quick automated tool. And yeah, last shout out to the Logic Bass Session Pro software, because it's as easy to use as those 5 little options, these 4 knobs and this one toggle, except it's so much more. It's pretty awesome. All right, I'm gonna blow my nose and just get my my sinuses straight for a second, so I'm not driving myself crazy. I'll be right back. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Really appreciate it. Thank you for hanging. Appreciate it. I'm at that stage where when you blow your nose, it's just whatever comes out gets replaced with something else. So yeah, I kind of feel better. I got a little headache too. Let's rock and roll. That's Edit Play Style. It's a cute, handy feature that I actually use now and then. It's more important to me in the percussion programs. Use Drummer 3 Superior Drummer. Let's move on to the grid editor. And all right, this is a grid. Most of us have seen piano rolls or grid editors inside of Toontrack. I'm not going to give a tutorial on it. But what's cool is you can control looping up here. You can drag around your loop. You can deactivate it, activate it, relocate it. So it's cool not to have to constantly come down to the song track or over to your DAW to get your loops going. You can still see your chord chart, and you can actually access your chord wheel there. Dude, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. For my style of editing, it's very cool. And let's just do velocity real quick because, let me just select some notes. Look, you can bring the velocity up and down. You can flatten the dynamics or create more dynamics. You can randomize them. And let me just do this like that. And you can create slopes. I absolutely love slopes. Rarely use them, but when I do that thing, I love that thing. So that's how you adjust velocity. Let's get rid of that. Basic tools, arrow to move stuff around, and drag selections, pencil tool to write stuff in, and a cut tool. So you can cut note durations down to what you want, and so on and so forth. Need some ibuprofen. Now, here's what's super cool. This is what's unique about bass software that's good in general, not only EZbass. A lot of them have their own articulations. And after a couple updates, this makes a little more sense too, from a while ago. But, well, let me select a note. All right, we got this one note selected. This is a finger playing, whatever note this is. This is a G note, right? If we go to articulations, auto alternate means one finger then the other finger, because basses typically play with two fingers sequentially. So this just means you're going to go, index, middle, right? Or you can play things with only with the middle finger or only with the index finger. I called for aspirin. It magically appeared on my desk. That's pretty awesome service. Super important to get pockets and good feels out of your synthetic bass player. You're trying to make it as cool as possible. You have ghost notes. These ghost notes are not like ghost notes on a snare drum. It's more of a percussive thing, but just listen. Yep, as opposed to. I'll turn this up a little bit, but what's going to suck is I'm going to forget to turn it down. So I'll just pay for that later and apologize to you later. Those ghost notes come great at the end of phrases, really help stop the melody before you continue playing. We might even run into that in a little bit. Harmonics, actually, if you don't know, sure, it's when you actually don't fret something. You place your finger on the string and you get a harmonic out of it, which means you're not playing the note where that fret is. You're playing some sort of mathematical note in between the nut and the bridge. It's usually of a higher pitch. Sometimes they're natural and they sound like good notes, and sometimes they are not natural at all and they sound like effects. Love harmonics. Percussive right hand. When you're slapping that bass, oh yeah, baby. Tapping, taking your dominant hand and striking the fretboard. And we have actual slap and pop. Percussive left hand, something I'm not a pro bass player. I'm a guitarist that plays a bit of bass, but this is something I don't do at all. But I do see, when you see like and then this hand doing this, that's where they get like that rolls of feels, right? A lot of guitarists doing this stuff nowadays, especially on acoustic guitar. But here's what's cool. It came in an update maybe a year or so ago, is depending on what product you've bought, you get different articulations. So it'll tell you what articulations you do not get. Body slap finger, body slap thumb, muted note.
So as you go through other EBXs, which are EZbass expansions, you'll see articulations come and leave depending on what they sampled at that with that specific instrument. And here's a downfall, which is not a dig at EZbass. It's just a limitation for all bass VST software, is that articulations are not MIDI notes. It's additional information attached to a MIDI note. So if I send this MIDI out the poop chute, like I explained earlier, using Midi Out, or if I exported this MIDI and gave it to you and you used it in a non-Toontrack program, you're not going to hear the slap or the pop or whatever. You're just going to hear that, what was this? You're just going to hear a G1. So that's not a Toontrack thing. That's just a universal problem. Or you might hear something different because that other software has a different articulation assigned to, it's probably a CC value to whatever extra data is attached to that MIDI note. So articulations are great. And then of course you basically have, hammer-ons and pull-offs here. So, I mean, if I select two notes, they probably have to be next to each other. Let me just try these two. Let me zoom in a little. Yeah, they got to be next to each other. Do this. Actually, no. I haven't done this in a while. Yeah. Bam. Yep. Okay. Notice all these Midi blocks. They're square in shape, but when you see the corner shaved off, that means there's some legato attached to them, like a hammer-on or a pull-off. So if I select this note and I hit a hammer-on pull-off symbol, notice we gave it a little shave, little military cut on the side. Now it's not a strike with the dominant hand. Now it's just a strike with the non-dominant hand on the fretboard. So that's cool. And you can see this one got shaved off a little bit too. So moving on, that one button implies it does a lot, but it doesn't. There's no submenu. This is the one I was waiting to get to. The slides are phenomenal. And if you just select two notes and add a slide, you're gambling on whether it sounds great or not, and you have to understand that you got to tweak it to make it sound beautiful and real. And actually, since there's a note going from here up to here, let's use these two notes. Watch, I'll select these two notes. I'll enable slide, and here's our slide right here. Let's listen to it real quick. All right. That sounds like, who knows what that sounds like, because we don't hear the music, right? We don't know where the pocket is. But when you get deep in the weeds with this, you're going to have to extend the timing of, whoops, I'm going to select off. Now that I put the slide in there, I select off now. You can extend the timing of the slide. All right. You can really hear those frets digging in too. That's weird. And if you right click on the actual slide portion, actually, you don't even have to right click. The tool pops up. You can drag it up or down, and you can make it accelerate quickly and then decelerate slowly, or vice versa. So you can get different feels out of these slides. I don't know, there's something weird sounding about this slide. I don't remember it sounding like that, honestly, in the past. Maybe it's the tempo though. Let me let's try again right here. It's different forms of slides. So these first two mean you're sliding from one note to another. So let's try legato. That's probably what I was expecting here. Let's see. There we go. Whew. It was weird hearing all the fret steps in this one. But there we go. That sounds more like a slide. To continue the tutorial, you adjust the length. And then you adjust the different way to accelerate and decelerate from one note to another by using like this little curve, I guess you could call it. Yeah, really change the flavor. Yeah, see how long it held the note before it slid on this one as opposed to the last one? See, I can really get in there and get under the hood and you're like, I don't know, it's not perfect. Well, maybe the note duration still isn't right, Now maybe it's perfect. And then these other two slides are for notes that are coming or going from nowhere. So going to silence or coming from silence. So I'll just select this one and add a slide and bam. Oh, that's going to sound funny because it's going upward, but check it out. Actually, some cool character right there. And slide in, Now it's coming from down below, but now the slide starts from the other side. So that stuff's magical, man. Typical grid editor stuff. Look, we're snapping the grid. We're adjusting the resolution, which is the lines. Which is the lines in the back of the grid. And a power tip for you guys. Here's an FAQ that will never stop. I don't know how Toontrack can just make this more obvious. If you know, you know. But if I'm zoomed out here and I want to work with 30-second notes, I don't see 30-second note lines after I change the 30-second notes because you have to zoom in first to be able to view that type of resolution. Now I see 30-second notes. Same rule applies for the song track. Is that a Toontrack thing? I don't know. It's just, it's asked so often on their forums, in my inbox, whatever. It's just, I wonder if there's a different way around that. Like a mouse over tooltip would be good. You know, if you tooltip this, instead of it saying, hey, this is the resolution, it'd say, hey, zoom in to see, you know, finer notes, faster, shorter note durations, you know. If you're doing electronic music, or if you have such a poor bass performance, maybe from your keyboard or from wherever, you can quantize it. Just select the notes and you jack it up, and now you're Terminator 2, Judgment Day. But more importantly than that, if I've performed something I'm not a bass player and I'm definitely not a keyboarder, so when I'm performing on my keyboard, it probably seems a little stiff because I'm trying to knock the timing out, not get a good pocket. So my performances, sure, they're on time, but they feel stiff. If I want to humanize my performance, here you got the timing menu. Swing resolution, it's a classic. You can move stuff closest to the selected resolution triplet. I rarely use that. That's old school way of doing things. There's randomize fader, which will randomize your timing left and right away from the grid. We're talking milliseconds at a time. And you can also adjust lengths of notes, like an edit play style, and you can also nudge notes left and right depending on a predetermined value, which you get over here in the options or note menu. I think it's the options menu. Yeah. You can nudge 128th note, which is not even a note value that, I mean, I don't even think orchestras are talking about 128th notes. But still, that's a measurement in time, or you can do just a couple milliseconds, or you can follow the resolution. So you can nudge at whatever this menu sets. So, it's a good editor. This software is a little getting old. It's still a good editor. I'd use this over my DAW, and some DAWs have some tricks, though, so I can see why you might not. But again, watch my DAW versus piano roll video before you decide. And even if you're hardcore about editing only in your DAWs, watch that video. I might be able to at least inspire you to do a hybrid workflow instead of just like sticking to your guns. Check that video out. I think Anthony hopefully posted it earlier, but I will put it in the description when I'm done with this stream. DAW versus piano. Oh, and I did swear earlier, and in case you're new, I'm going to do let's just do $2 or swear at this point, in case I don't swear again. $2 off any course at shootieschool.com. I have EZdrummer 3 courses up there, and when this stream ends, I will do $2 off. But it's easiest for me to give you that savings while you're checking out, so don't expect to see, you don't need a code. Don't expect to see the price drop. Right before you pay, it'll drop $2, okay? And I'll do that when I'm done. Making a note to myself, sale, $2. And the more I swear, I'll add $2 to it. So there's the grid editor. Besides more great options, I actually use the select menu all the time for another day. These are all great stuff, man. All right. Fill in gaps. This is great. Let's say this looks like a mess right here because I've been farting around, but let's just say this is a staccato bass line. It's great. But then you move into the chorus and everything opens up. You don't want all this space anymore. I could select the notes, and there's like a fill gaps command. Let's see what it's called. Extend to next note and remove overlaps in 3, 2, 1. It's a pretty neat trick right there, isn't it? It's pretty awesome. Do some bold moves with that. All right. I'm going to do...
Peaches, $5.
Did I... Oh, Peaches. My sweetheart. You're a fantastic. Thank you for coming, and I love seeing your rank open up, and I think we missed you last month. Anthony, I was going to end the stream. I was like, Peaches is not here. I'm out of here. Forget this, and Anthony held me back. So I just want you to know you're meaningful, and thanks so much for coming in the chat. Thanks you so much for the support. I think I just want to cover 2 more things. Like I'm trying to cover the whole program, but I also don't have 40 hours. But drums and keys and audio tracker. So I think we're going to hop over to the DAW. Oh, I have notes today. Yeah, be patient with me for 1 sec. Yeah, let's move out to the DAW. The only note I had was to talk about how articulations don't translate over to other programs. I've covered that. And do I want this already? Ugh, I don't want this already. All right, EZbass audio. This is the only thing I prepared for the whole thing, but that's audio tracker. That's next. Let me do a new session real quick. And in case anyone's new, make sure I'm live right now. I am. Good. In case anyone's new, I'm going to set up a quick session from scratch just so they understand that you use EZbass inside of your DAW. You don't use your DAW and then EZbass next to it. Or there's 2 ways to use it. And this is the way most people do it. Let me do new project. Yes, save that. Good. So you're in your DAW. You want something probably called an instrument track where you load. In this case, I'm going to load. Yeah, let's do EZbass first. EZbass. And you also have some other material in your session, whether it's you playing guitar or, singing or drums or whatever. In this case, it's a keyboardist. I'm just going to use easy keys too and keep it Toontrack themed. And I have issues with just seeing the same color. I'm just going to color these real quick, make that red, and I'm going to make this just a different shade of red. And this is what it might look like on your end. Hey, EZdrummer. Let's bring EZdrummer in real quick. Add new instrument on track. Let's get the band back together. You know what I'm saying? It's so cute. All right, here we go. Good, and I like to color these the same color, their product color, so at a glance, I know exactly what I'm looking at. Here's the rhythm section with the melody on top. And let's cover drums and keys. And before we do that, this also is a callback to EZbass, EZbass 1, EZbass. EZbass 2 is not out yet. EZbass will not import song track information from Easy Keys 2. They're incompatible. So here's a workaround for that, plus just a method in general of creating bass lines from other material. Okay. I don't know if Steve's here today, but he's usually pretty good about this workflow if I remember my chats in the past. But anyway, you can even just pretend Easy Keys 2 right now is EZbass or any Toontrack product. This workflow I'm about to do just to literally deal out a quick song, a couple song parts. It's great. So, I'm on the Grooves tab of any Toontrack product on the Easy line, and I want to do funk in 4/4. And let me just stick with Easy Keys 2 MIDI, and they probably already have it segregated. They do. Here's funk. Great, let's use whatever this is. The tempo's 104. Now, your Toontrack product doesn't tell your DAW what the tempo is. Your DAW tells your Toontrack product. So see how this is at 104? If I agree I want to write this song at 104, I should put that in my DAW. Your DAW is the host. Your Toontrack products are the guest. Your DAW tells your Toontrack products what to do when it comes to tempo and time signature. And then from there on, your Toontrack products are pretty independent and they do their own thing. That's at least not only my interpretation, but a way I use it. It can be used in a couple ways, okay? Let's just go intro. Great, whatever this is. Awesome. I'm going to use measure 9. I have, Anthony, if you're doing well with finding videos on my channel at this point, it's called just type in 9th, 9th into my channel. It should be like the secret of the ninth measure, or something like that, the tip of the 9 measure, or something like that. It's the reason why I use the 9th measure. I'm not going to go on a tangent right now. I'm going to grab a verse. All right, the piano is driving me a little crazy, though. It's supposed to be funky. Yeah, let's do that. It's a little harsh sound in the volume. The presence is all the way down already. Okay. Ooh, okay. All right, that feels a little better as a first impression. All right, let's do whatever. This is the verse. What am I doing? Just put it down. This one's easier. All right. Here's our song structure. We have an intro at 9. We have a verse at 11, talking about measure numbers, and we have a chorus at 19. And you know what? I'm just going to be a good boy, and I'm going to go to measure 9 in my DAW. I'm going to put a marker and call it intro, and I'm going to go to measure 11, call this verse. You can see up here at the top inside my DAW, not my Toontrack product, that I have markers going down here. That's just so I'm not fumbling the football later. Why I do sports analogies, I have no clue, man. I'm not big into sports. Now and then I enjoy a game, I guess. Let's see, this is a chorus. Great. Getting markers in my DAW so I know my bearings when it comes time where I need to know them to keep moving fast. And you should consider doing it too. If you don't, I've gotten a lot of feedback about how militant I've been about markers, and people have written me back and it's just like, man, dude, how did I survive without them? Like, yeah. That's why I preach it, brother. All right. So what do we have here? Let's pretend this is a whole song. We have an intro, verse, and a chorus in easy keys. So our melody guy showed up and he's like, here's my song. And I'm a bass player. I'm like, well, all right. A lot of plugins, no matter what DAW you're in, they have a pinning feature, P-I-N, pinning feature. I don't know what they're going to call it in your DAW, but it's a way to make it so your DAW plugin window doesn't go away when you bring up another plugin. So you can have multiple plugins at the same time. Pinning and Reaper's right here. I'll just make sure it's pinned. I'm going to make this smaller so we can look at 2 plugins at the same time. I'm going to open up EZbass. And look, here's our bass player just showing up like, ooh, I got nothing to play, right? And I'll be like, all right. Let me just give you the parts, dude, and then play these. And you're like, all right, let me switch over to my drums and keys tab, and I'll try and take care of this. So let's grab this intro verse and drag it right here into this MIDI drop zone. Drop MIDI here, drop it. And now we have 2 tools. It's reading rhythm and melody, and it's saying, hey, do you want the bass player just to do what the left hand of the keyboardist was doing, or do you want the bass player to kind of follow rhythm and chords and tool around a little bit? All right. So let me hit play in my DAW, which will play EZbass and easy keys at the same time in sync. Okay. I don't know if we're hearing EZbass yet, though. We're not. Actually, I have to hit this little play button. Oh, another good thing about markers is I can instantly get a loop going up with confidence. We're only looping the intro now, okay, from measure 9 to 11. I'm going to hit play on this right here. Let me remix it a little bit since bass is typically not present. Let me just bring keys down. There's the bass, by the way, okay. This is a pretty simple way to start. He's just hitting the root note in time. Great. All right, the bass player is playing. Good. You can also try this rhythm and chords. Honestly, feels like a little flam. Let's use this. Now, how do we use this? I want this one. What do I do? Pretend this is a groove on the Grooves tab, okay? You grab it, drag it, bam. It's a great tool, by the way. There's nothing special going on there. By the way, you could use Edit Playstyle, spruce it up a little bit. You could use Transition to spruce it up a little bit. See how, like, all of a sudden it's a Swiss Army knife once you get something basic in there, and then you can just start going, hey, try this, whoop, 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 whoop. You know, deal. Hit me again. So we have a verse down. Let me go over here. Let's grab this. Excuse me. We have the intro down. It's labeled verse. That's weird. Let me right click on it. Song part type, intro. Now the color code's matching. Now I can see things from a distance. Now I have my bearings, right? Grab the verse, groove, drag it back to drum and keys, and we've restarted the process. Let's see if it does anything better. All it did was like hit a root note. At least it hit it in time, right? Excuse me. And let me loop the verse in my DAW. Don't worry if you don't understand, like, what's he doing in his DAW and hitting play and how all these things work into. Majority of my live streams like cover this stuff all the time, and I have a beginners playlist on my channel. Just go to my channel, go to the playlist section, click on beginners. Take care of you right there, okay? I got to be able to do advanced stuff for my users that have been around for a while and for my own sanity, people. All right. Oh, we just hit play. Here's the left hand. Let's do it. That sounds bad. Hold on. That's not going as scripted. This is like the only thing I worked out before I did this stream today is not sounding right. Why is that? Oh, nope. I thought maybe original key was selected over here before I dragged it over. Man, that's weird. Why does that sound weird? Is my loop correct? 11 to 19. So 11 to 19, 11 to 19. Let me just make sure I drag the right one in there. Oh, this is weird. Actually, that sounds like it should be perfect, actually. This worked right. It's not syncing. I should be able to get a solid audition in this situation, though. I know I should be able to. Let me just drag this here so I know I'm not crazy. Yeah, it actually follows it really well. That's weird. It's not working out of here, though. That's abnormal, so you know. I know the software well enough to know something weird's happening that I'm missing. I should be able to play it out here. Let's check out rhythm and chords. Let's see if it'll work. It's playing on its own. It's playing the wrong chord over at the wrong time. I can't risk relaunching Reaper because my audio driver is being shared in so many ways. I have the best analogy that was literally rated X that I can't say on the internet, but I have so many programs sharing that driver that if I close Reaper and open it back up again live, I probably have to end the stream. Reaper has to be the first program launched when it comes to streaming, not the last. The song track is lining up though, so anyway, this actually works pretty good. Let's listen to this one. It's cute. It's following the chords a little better. I like this left-hand one better. Try to acknowledge that auditioning these up here in your DAW should work. I'm just dealing with something today. Let's do the last with the chorus here. Let me change my loop. It's from 19 to 27. Great. Put my cursor here. I don't know. Maybe it'll work now. I think it's busted for now. It's actually working now, so I think. So this is the left-hand version. Let's hear rhythm and chords. Cool. So there's one way to get around. I'm going to change the song part to chorus so it matches my song over here. And let me zoom out. What time we got? Oh, man. I wanted to put drum sets real quick and have fun. But I don't even have time to finish, which is what I wanted to do. Anyway, here's our bass line that we use drums and keys to bring over. And getting back to the incompatibility of not being able to import Easy Keys project files directly into EZbass 1. That's probably not coming until EZbass 2. You can just drag the MIDI right over like this, and now your bass is playing the keyboard line, and then you could use your tools, probably more so the grid editor, but other tools as well to tame these keyboard parts into bass lines. That's a very case-sensitive situation. I would wait to do it this way, unless it's a specific situation. But hey, now we got a bass playing piano. Right. All right. I don't know how fast I can finish this, but I'm going for it. Let me close this project. And let me open up Audio Tracker project. Quick shameless plug. Check out my Discord channel or consider becoming a YouTube paid member for Shootie School. I've got an ongoing course just on EZbass. If you still use this program, or if you're seeing the light in this program, you want to learn more, come check out my ongoing series, all right? Now we're going to use the audio tracker, and I'm trying to get my screensaver to wake up over here on my left. And this is from my good buddy Swamp from Texas. I'm going to plug his... Really? We got 45... Anthony, is 45 people watching right now?
Yes, sir.
No shit. I like that.
That's $4 off.
That was worth $2. That was worth $2. My courses will be $4 off after this stream ends. That's my work alarm saying go to work, but I'm going to push it. My 2 Easy Drummer courses will be $4 off when this stream ends. You won't see that sale on the product page, but you'll see it when you finally check it out. Available for 24 hours. Okay? Heck yeah. 45 people watching EZbass? I thought this was going to be a slow stream because it's EZbass. All right. Thank you so much for coming. If you're lurking, just say hi. Say what's up. Why not? EZbass Audio Tracker. I'm going to go fast, dude. I got to go to work. All right. Audio Tracker. It will... Look, you can drag MIDI into this, and it'll figure out what the MIDI is and spit it back out. That's like a real over-the-plate softball thing to teach. Just try that, okay? What's not easy is dragging an actual bass, analog bass performance or guitar performance into the audio tracker and turning that into a bass line. And lean in for this one part, because a lot of people get frustrated about this feature in EZbass. But if you're not tuning your instrument really well, and if the intonation of your instrument isn't pretty darn good, you're going to get a lot of stuff that's off pitch. And never mind the intonation of your instrument, how hard you push down changes pitch, right? It's a sensitive piece of software. It's sensitive to pitch. It's sensitive to timing. If you're hurting in either of those areas, it's going to be frustrating. So it's tough, because who would use this? Actually, I like this. I've used this a few times. I'm not dependent on it. I've used this a few times, but I can see how a beginner who doesn't have those really good pitch skills with tuning, intonation, and string pressure, and how hard they pick, all those things that change pitch when you're performing. Never mind solid timing chops. But if you have both of those things, this thing's a dream. But even this pro musician that delivered me this guitar and bass line that we're about to hear from kind of like a country style jam track, even the pros aren't perfect for something like this. So this is a really fantastic tool. And depending on your skill set is how much you have to edit after. Okay? We're going to import an audio file. It's going to turn into a bass line. We're going to check out that bass line, see how accurate it is, edit until it's good, and then check out the results and decide if this is something worth giving a S about. Here's my boy Swamp from Texas. Great friend. Real nice guy. I just threw a generic drum beat under this, so don't judge it for the drums. Check out this bass line. Look how close he is to the grid. This is his bass performance. I mean, he's got good timing. I see a little latency, a little early here and there, but for the majority, and not only that, look at his transients. Like, it's obvious there's a note here and it stops here. Obvious there's a note here and it stops here. You know, if you're feeding the audio tracker audio, it's been a bit, yeah, audio tracker wave files that don't look clean like this, your your results are going to vary more and more. But you see how, like, obvious, like, that's where he's hitting, that's where the note ends. And not only that, it's really close to the grid. Like, this is a great piece of content for the audio tracker. It's still not going to be perfect, so you can kind of see the standards of an audio tracker. Either way, give it a shot. And today we're doing bass to bass. Like, here's a bass performance. This bass sound honestly sounds thin. No offense, Swamp. Kind of sounds classic, actually. But we're going from bass to bass. Like, I just want a killer bass tone. I want the sound tight. I can't get that out of this. Or maybe I could, whatever. But one thing I use way more is I play my bass lines on guitar. And where am I? I think I did, yeah. Nope. Crap. EZbass. Crap. I like to play my bass lines on guitar. Guitar is my main instrument. Here it is. Let's see, audio tracker on guitar. If that sounds like what you'll be doing, after you watch me toy with it here, you can watch me work with this thing just using a guitar. So here's just another video doing the same thing if you need, okay? Except on guitar. Today we're using a bass. So I have my bass line here. Toontrack comes with an extra plugin called the audio tracker. It's right here. I insert it on the audio I want to capture and translate into MIDI. Crap, I'm just like starting something and I need to be going. And the resolution's low. I probably loaded up the wrong plugin, but you know, just put the name. I'll just call this bass track. You literally type a name inside of the plugin right here. And now this little plugin that's on this analog bass track that was recorded, it's going to capture it for EZbass. Okay, so let's open up EZbass. Don't worry, I explained this better in the other link, but I wanted to cover this decently today because I just wanted it to be like a whole world, like a world view experience on EZbass today. So if people really consider picking it up from scratch or continuing with EZbass, just want to make sure I covered everything or as much as possible. Audio tracker tab. I want to record audio from my DAW, and down under input says bass track. That's the name I just typed into the new little plugin. And let me get the playback. All right, let's just do a softball. Man, I gotta hurry. Let's just do the intro right here. So it's just like a slide or something. It's just 2 notes. Let's see if audio tracker can handle 2 notes. Right, now you got some context. Here we go, in EZbass. Oh, before I hit record in the audio tracker, you have to give it more criteria. I want to record an actual bass guitar into EZbass, not a guitar into EZbass to get a bass line. That link I just pasted earlier is a tutorial how you do with a guitar. We're doing bass today. I'm going to remove all this stuff. If this stuff isn't remotely present in your playing, do not include it because it's just going to try and figure out a bunch of extra crap that you never did. So don't select that stuff. Often I won't select it either, and I'll add that stuff in later if it's needed. But you'll figure it out with your style of playing how well the audio tracker works for you. It actually works pretty good. It saves me a ton of time. I'd rather use audio tracker than just be like starting blank slate in the grid editor. Anyway, my playhead's right. Record. Oh, playing my DAW. Great. Did I do it? Yeah. I hit stop right away because I'm only trying to record 2 notes. Here's the 2 notes, boo-boo. I'm gonna delete these because that's the next section of the song. So now you're presented in the audio track grid editor, but you don't see blocks, you see waveforms. It's interesting. Use the arrow tool. You can grab these notes and drag them up and down to change pitch in case it got the pitch wrong. And as you mouse over the sides of these waveforms, you can adjust duration. But it just depends on how well the capture went. You might not have to make any adjustments. You might have to make a ton of adjustments. Now, if I hit play, let me hit play only in EZbass so we don't hear our DAW, so we can actually see what happened. We're actually hearing both basses at the same time. We're hearing the audio that I captured, and we're hearing EZbass's new recording it made. And when this is in the middle, you hear both. If I go all the way left, I'll only hear Swamp's bass. And if I bring this all the way to the right, we only hear EZbass. And it did great. It did perfect. I'm going to add MIDI to Toontrack. Here's a bug that bothers me. Speaking of, purpose of whether this stuff works in 2026 or not, look at all this blank space. This is just a bug that it's so unattractive as a first impression, but the stuff still works. Look, there's an extra note floating right here, and look at all this blank space. Anyway, bam. And then I believe we're starting at, you actually got to drag it to where it belongs. Great. So it worked with a little bit of extra work. Let's do a real capture finally. Let's record this verse. I wanted to do the whole song, but there's no way. I got to go. Because I know there's going to be some mistakes now that we can finally experience and decide for ourselves if we have the skill set to work this way or not. I like working this way. Let's do a new capture. So look, I'm still on the audio tracker tab. I've already brought this performance down to my Toontrack, so I don't need it up here anymore. I'm ready for a new session here. I'm going to click on it. I'm recording from my DAW, and I want to select my mic input. Why it doesn't remember? Toontrack, make it remember my input, please. I just can't imagine everybody, I'm going to go to this input, now this track on my DAW, this. I mean, they could, but why don't you just have it remember the last? That'd be another EZbass too. Upgrade not only all that empty space. I've read a lot of people critiquing about that, so just fix that up. This tool's amazing besides little tiny bugs. Plus play in Reaper to start recording. You dig it? Oh. All right, let's just capture the first half of that. All right, I didn't hear any slides or grace. I should have been paying attention. That's what I should have been doing. I'm going to hit OK. We recorded from measure 9. Was it measure 9? Yes, it was. Measure 9 to 17. So let me just get rid of everything after 17. I wanted to do the whole verse, but I know it's time to go now. That's too bad. I wanted to get into slides today. Anyway, we got to be able to find something wrong with this. Remember, I'm going to hit play in EZbass, not in my DAW. And if I had more time to teach this, I would be hitting play in my DAW, but doing a bunch more adjustments I'd have to talk about. So let me just, for simplicity's sake, hit play in the audio tracker in EZbass and only listen to that. But remember, we can listen to both the bass we just recorded plus EZbass's new bass line. Let's just see if there's some wrong notes. There has to be. I mean, what's this little thing hanging out there? Just right visually, I see bad notes. I don't know if these extra little things are notes. All right, let's check it out. Oh, you know what? Let me hear only the MIDI. Watch this note. Tell me if you can hear it. Okay, we can. Okay. There's a bug where that first note almost never sounds, so it's hard to say that's a problem I have with it when it doesn't happen, but it is. Sounds a little distorted. Oops. That is a little aggressive. DI clean, finger, deep and bright. Forget tone. Let's go. Let's hear them both together. Here we go. Listening for mistakes. bad note. Oh, all right. This probably doesn't even belong there. This is the incorrect note. This looks suspicious, and this right here and this right here looks suspicious. So I don't even know how my brain just caught all that. I'm under pressure here. There's probably about 10 small mistakes. Oops. Let's hear it only in EZbass. Yeah, you know what that is? Something is there. So the audio tracker is smart. It said, here's another note, but that's actually a ghost note. So I'm going to leave that in, and on the grid editor, I'm going to turn it into a ghost note later, because Swamp's bringing his finger down there for like a total mute. Boom, doo-doo, doo-doo. So, all right, that's not really an error. And when I got a new session going in Audio Tracker, I should have left ghost note selected, okay? Maybe it would have caught it. All right, something else is up, though. Here we go. Yeah, this is a wrong note, and it's pretty wrong. Yeah, this... Yeah. All right. No problem. 2 notes are off. Something about that note up here. What's this little thing? That's another ghost note. And we'll leave it here, and we'll turn that into a ghost note after if we even have time, but at least you know what I intend to do with it after this. Yeah. I think this should be a ghost note right there. Let's hear them both together real quick. Let me hear only Swamp's bass. Yeah. Something up. All right. See how it handled that walk down. Yeah. All right. It's probably that. It's just a quick guess. I know all right, let's just delete that and extend this. There we go. I think that's it. Let me make sure that it ends right. Yeah. All right, let's convert that to MIDI. Let's deal with this long freaking thing you got to edit. Let me zoom out. See, there's another, every time there's this silence, just a bug they never worked out. Hopefully they'll get it. Here's another thing about EZbass 2. A lot of people complain that Bandmate's not in EZbass 2. Great, I want Bandmate 2, but I don't want them to get rid of the audio tracker. It's a really cool way. Please don't get rid of the audio tracker. Everyone's complaining about it. I'm not. I want to keep it for EZbass 2. Stop complaining about it. I don't want to see it go away. And let's also bring Bandmate into EZbass. Let's just get both. Stop complaining about the audio sender plugin. It works fine. It works great. Stop complaining about it. I don't want it to go away. All right. Now we're back in the song track. Here's the end. I really wanted to do the chorus because it has a slide, but I have to go. Let's mute Swamp's bass line. Took some editing. Sounds killer. Good walk down. And it goes away because we only did half the riff. Gosh, why does it sound so honky? It actually makes sense for the song, so maybe I shouldn't chase after it. What time is it? All right. Oh, yeah. Dude.
David sent you $20 and Shane says go to work.
Yeah, I should. He's like, please stop streaming. Get away. Go away. All right. Let's see. Hey, thanks so much for showing up and sticking around. Did we maintain the numbers? I can't even tell.
Yes, we did.
Pretty good. All right. It's great to hear. David, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. Happy New Year. Hope your family is kicking butt. I hope everyone's family's kicking butt. Looks like I don't have enough time to get through it, but I see Coffee Run showed up. I see Bruce showed up. Gongcast still commenting. I appreciate it. I got to go fast. But I want everybody to post below what bass VST instrument plugins they're using. Not instead of EZbass, but definitely instead of EZbass because you prefer it besides EZbass, or in conjunction with, or even what you're interested in. You already have my opinion. And man, did I have any other critiques? Real quick, I just wanted to make this a complete video. I'm going to put a small list. In 2 days, I'll come back, check the comments, tighten up the stream. I'm going to put a small list of what I think should be corrected for EZbass 2. You should do the same too. But, EZbass 2 should have some sort of tablature or sheet music implementation. That sounds like a tall order, but that would be cool. It should do all the stuff that Easy Keys can do, especially with the extended chords and the mode stuff. Oh, fret string buzz and pick noise and all that. It'd be cool if they could figure out how to make that optional, but I don't know if that makes sense because it is an authentically sampled instrument. But maybe some sort of like frequency filter or something to like assist with that or something. I don't know. I thought that was a good idea. A lot of people, some people on the forums are talking about that. And I wouldn't mind being able to play with fingers and pick in the same preset. And that's a weird request because they've already kind of like paved the way of how it works. Presets are either pick or presets are either fingers. It's not both, but I wouldn't mind in the grid editor being able to just select a couple notes and saying play fingers only here. Because I'm not a pro bassist at all, but I've toured as a bassist before, and as someone who's barely toured as a bassist, I've actually switched over to just, my middle finger, my index finger, just for a few low sentimental dynamic parts, like go from thrashing to a real soft moment in the song. It's like, I don't want to hear my pick slamming the string. So that would be cool too. Put your suggestions for EZbass 2 below. Let me know what other bass VST software you're interested in currently using instead of EZbass, or integrate with EZbass. Thank you so much, everybody. Really appreciate the donations today, man. Warms my heart, and it will put some food in my cabinets. Anthony, you are the best, my friend. You are absolutely amazing. Thank you for being a member, and check out my EZbass course on Discord and ongoing course on Discord and YouTube members. Peace, everybody. Getting to work. Go, 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 go.